Well, the West Virginia Mountaineers have lost another starting quarterback in Jalen Henderson. We talked about it last night. We weren't sure who they were going to go with. It's Khalil Wilkins. It's his time to shine. Can he do it in front of the Friday Night Lights in Provo? We'll talk about it now on Locked On West Virginia.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your esteemed host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about the Mountaineers again on the football side of things. Again today, a baby. And look, I'm not here alone, that's for sure, but we'll get to that in just a second. We got a legend in the room with us today, true legend. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Mazda. We're talking about Mazda for this one for multiple reasons, and none the least is when you're like us guys in Mazda, we sweat every detail like our players do, and because we make every move count, pulling off the unexpected is only the beginning. Stay tuned later for highlights in this week's Moving the Game Forward with Mazda. Move and be moved. And thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. Who we here with? You know him. You love him. He's legendary. And he's wearing a raspberry beret. Jackson Johnson.
How you doing today, good buddy?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Just enjoying the third day of my birthday.
Another Thursday of your birthday week. I know, man.
Oh, man.
You turned 68 this year, and you don't look a day over 28.
Well, I'm just taking care of that good body. Just making sure I'm taking care of it. Drinking a lot of water here and there.
Water, okay.
The Cleveland Guardians / Indians, they need a lot of luck as we speak because they're losing to the Tigers 6-1. They're getting.
We find out you watch every single sport all the time.
Well, I just happened to watch that one because Sean McDonough was calling it.
Oh, and his puberty voice was getting thrown out.
Oh, he threw it out in the bottom of the eighth when the Guardians took the lead yesterday afternoon.
Mazda. All right, guys, enough being goofy. Listen, I had a really rough night last night. Before we get to the Wilkins stuff, I want to tell you guys about my night. Well, let's do the Wilkins stuff first, and I'll tell you about my night a little bit later. I'll just have to remember to tell you about it. I'll write it down so I don't forget. Tell them. Okay, so it's been reported by multiple people today, and guys, forgive me. I've had a really rough day. I had some stuff happen to me last night that was just like, where did this come from? How did this happen? But I'll explain it in a little bit. So, I kind of missed who put this out there, but I've seen it from multiple places. I saw Mike Osti posted it a long time ago. I saw Skylar Callahan posted a long time ago that Khalil Wilkins will make his first start against the BYU Cougars. And Jackson, it can't be a tougher spot for the kid, right?
Yeah.
You're a redshirt freshman. It's your first start. And you're not going against the milquetoast BYU Cougars. You're going against a stacked squad.
Yep. On
a scale of 1 to 15, what would you rate this in difficulty for the kid?
15.
Really? It's that high?
That high.
What reasons do you got for that?
The defense, man, they chip a lot of people like chicken nuggets. I mean, if you thought that Utah defense was going to chew you up bad, that BYU defense, it's scary, man. They're scary as they can get.
Yeah, right. Yeah, obviously Isaiah Glasker and company are really good. They've got 2 linebackers that are as good as any in the country, really. Everybody you talk to says that. West Virginia's got their work cut out for them. Did I just say oat like a Canadian? Wow, that was weird. West Virginia's got the work cut out for them. I guess I turned Canadian for a second there. And I've got 8 big questions about this. So if you'll allow me, I'm going to jump into these now. 8 big questions regarding Khalil Wilkins taking the reins for West Virginia versus BYU. And we're going to dive deep into the hottest topic, right? This is a redshirt freshman stepping up as the starting quarterback under the Friday Night Lights showdown in Provo against the top 15 BYU squad. Nico Marchiol is medically redshirted. He's hit the portal. Jalen Henderson is out. Max Brown is questionable. Jaheim White is out for the year. This is a beat-up team with very few playmakers that we know about. This is his moment. Sink or swim on a short week on the road against the defense's elite. Ton of sacks on the year. They've got turnovers. They're good in the red zone. It's high stakes, right? But Rich Rod sees star potential in this guy, in this player, is the word out of camp. This is way before anybody else had said much about him this year. I just didn't run with it because I figured it would be next year before we really saw him. So, you're all this against the defense that's really elite in sacks. So here are my 2 big things, or my 8 big things you need to know heading into this one, plus a couple of questions to fire up the chat. So obviously Rich Rod didn't hold back in his Tuesday presser, calling him a dynamic runner with big explosive ability and a future that looks really good. This isn't coach speak, man. I think there's a full endorsement. And, obviously the 106 rushing yards in the second half versus Utah, the 39-yard bomb to Cam Vaughn. I think Rich Rod's setting the table for this kid to be a dual threat dynamo in this system and potentially take another step. The last time we had a spot similar to this, and it's not the same because that West Virginia team was better than this West Virginia team, but obviously you have shades of Pat White and against Louisville. Here's why I say that. You didn't have one breakout player in that game. You had 2, right? You had Pat White, you had Steve Slayton break out in that game versus Louisville. So Ty Edwards is looking good. He's been bumped up to probable for this game. That's incredible news. So if you can put Ty Edwards alongside Khalil Wilkins, might you have your duo of the future in Morgantown against BYU and Provo to build around going forward? That's something we can all get excited about, especially if they play well. Even if they lose, if they just play well going into the bye week, oh, man, Jackson will be having visions about the Mountaineers coming out of the bye week and winning the entire national championship. Obviously this is a tiny sample, but it could have a massive impact, right? 3 of 6 passing for 63 yards and a touchdown against Utah. He showed poise. I think, even though the game was a dumpster fire, it was 35-0. But those legs, man, on limited carries, that's not just back. That's starter level juice. He's got some juice to his game. And I think if he would have hit those 2 touchdowns, we would all be like, holy cow, we might have something here. But just because that didn't happen last week, I think some of us still have doubts that he's a guy because he's short on 2 wide open touchdowns. Number 3, BYU's nightmare defensive weights. The Cougars are a top 10, 15 defense in key stats like 12 in total defense, 8th in sacks, 3rd down stops are 14th in the country. So his first start's not a cupcake. It's actually a pressure cooker on a short week. BYU's front 7 feast on smaller quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks, what have you. So expect them to spy him early, dare him to throw at West Virginia, dare him to throw from the pocket. That's what they're going to do. I expect West Virginia to throw some screens, get him on the move, hopefully get Ty Edwards going in this football game. The offensive line woes demand probably some max protect situations here. Obviously, the West Virginia offensive line has been a turnstile this season, allowing pressure on 40% of dropbacks. Well, to diaper dandy Wilkins, Rich Rod's going to need to lean heavy on 12 personnel probably. I think, they've only used it on 13% of the snaps so far this season. And they've got 84% in 11 personnel. So, chips from tight ends really do help, especially in situations like this. Maybe Malik Agbo at right tackle. or even as your sixth offensive lineman could also help, right? So that's a possibility. RPO, right? Obviously, I think this is going to be a game where the RPO is going to loom large, and with his wheels, defenses can't just load the box because the quick game is going to be the key. Bubbles, slant, hitches, screens to rack up easy yards and settle nerves early, and then save the deep shots for Cam Vaughn later on once you get them creeping up. But you have to get them creeped up. You got to figure it out. You got to sustain drives. You can't be the same old, same old. It's time to move on and become a team together. Rollouts are going to be the rate equalizer in this game, number 6. Obviously, Rod tried rollouts with Mark Yule because they were masking protection issues, but it probably shrunk the field for more of a pocket guy in Nico Markiel. But Khalil Wilkins is more built for it to roll out, right? So BYU can pick their poison, crash on the run or eat a throwback, drop deep and let him gash them on keepers, right? This unlocks a whole new game and dynamic with Rich Rod. So I think that's the whole new dynamic Rich Rod was talking about in his earlier things he was talking about regarding Khalil. Obviously, he's quarterback number 3 in 3 weeks for West Virginia. Henderson out, Markiol is gone, Brown is iffy. So, it's chaos, but Wilkins has the upside that says, oh my God, he could be our savior, especially next year if he balls out. Does it stabilize the ship or delay the drama? We don't know. We're going to find out. Lastly, the long-term ripple effects of this game are going to be felt. His red shirt is intact, so a strong showing here could lock him up as the guy for 2026. But, obviously Mark Yole's eyeing the portal. Henderson's got a murky future. So could Rod go portal shopping for vets, or is this the birth of a homegrown star? Well, one game's not going to decide it against BYU, but Friday, it could be the launch pad for that. So that's the blueprint. I think he has the tools. Execution is going to be everything. Will Wilkins have 100 yards against BYU's beast of a defense, or do you think the road pressure cooks him? Somebody let me know in the comments down below. If he throws for 150 yards and no picks, does Rich Rod have a heart attack on the sidelines because it's looking so good? These are all questions we need to know the answers to, including Jackson Johnson, the man, the myth, the legend. What are your thoughts on all those points?
If he can have 100 rushing yards against that BYU defense and get 150 passing yards against them, give him the starting job, my guy.
Give him the starting job, my guy. Absolutely. All right, so let's go to break. I think that would be prudent, most prudent, as we have a raspberry beret type segment coming up next. Nothing makes sense. But I will tell you guys about the crazy night that I had where I was trapped for hours next. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. And look, when it comes to FanDuel, one thing is another thing, and another thing is one thing. The NFL season is here. FanDuel does as an offer you don't want to miss. And right now, new customers can bet just $5 and make you holler and get $300 in bonus bets. That's if you win that first $5 bet. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to give Jackson to use across your app. And right now, if you have any interesting stories, why don't you use them on FanDuel? Because, like I said, I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play. I built parlays, tried player props, and even followed the lines during the games. So let me ask you a question. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today to get started. And, of course, we can't forget about our friends over at Square College. And, look, when it comes to Square, this episode is brought to you by Square. Your neighborhood, your favorite neighborhood spots run on Square as well. There are certain businesses that make the neighborhood, right? These are the places that become an extension of home. Whether it's a sports bar dedicated to your team's fan base, the spot with the wings in town for game day, or that beloved local chain that's been rooted in your community for years, These businesses are what bring people together, baby. When neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. It's just a fact, Jack. Sports are something that bring neighborhoods together. Whether it's gathering for game day rituals, celebrating the best wings in town, or just being a part of a fan base that calls at home, sports is the key contributor. Take this advice and run with it. Find a local spot, go support it. Square is a proud partner of more than 4 million businesses around the world. You can go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more about it today. But before you do, go support your favorite local spot, guys. Get a neighborhood spot, support it, and be happy about it. You'll be happy you did. And we'll see you with Square. See you in the neighborhood. It's segment 2, I Crack a Do. Really quick before I tell you guys my insane night that I had. Okay, so I'm replacing a couple of pieces of floor in my bedroom. Just, I'm not getting into it too deep in the woods. I'm not messing with any beams or anything like that. There's nothing crazy. It's literally just reinforcing some plywood to get by with for now until I can do something else. Well, I have sleep apnea, which I think I've told you guys about. Sometimes I'll jump up in the middle of the night because I stop breathing for a little bit of time and I'll panic and I'll just wake up, and sometimes I'll be like in the kitchen, or I don't know. For those first 2 or 3 seconds, I guess I'm just still asleep trying to snap out of it. I know that's pretty crazy sounding, but that's the truth of my life right now. And so as I hopped up this time, not only did I knock my Samsung TV, 60-inch TV off the table it sits on, but I went all the way up to my private parts. Let's just say through my floor, my left leg all the way up to my private parts. Like that's how far up I went down in.
Yikes.
And I was in a position to where I couldn't get my leg underneath me. And I'm not a little guy, right? I'm 400 pounds. So I was stuck, and I was stuck for hours. And I couldn't find my phone. It went flying whenever I I guess got up or whenever I fell. Not exactly sure. My refrigerator flew. I have a little mini fridge that I keep like water and stuff in, and it just flew across the room. Like it was a wild situation, man. I was stuck good. I mean, I couldn't get my leg out of there. It was like the, like a hookworm, how it's got like, it's smooth like this, but then if you try to pull it back out, it's got the hooks that keep you from pulling it out. That's how the wood was. Like my leg went down in there, but coming back up this way, back out that way, that wood was just stabbing me all around my leg. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? So finally my mom started texting me like 3 hours later. I mean, I was in there for a long time, and I finally was located my phone. It was underneath. I had just done some laundry, and I had them in trash bags, up against my wall. And my phone had slid up underneath his trash bag because it's black, and I didn't recognize it was like camouflaged. So here I am stuck for hours with no phone, thinking I'm going to lose my leg, thinking I might die. I mean, it's not exactly like I have people coming by all the time. So it was a freaking crazy situation. And what a way to die, right? So luckily I didn't do that. But just wanted to tell you guys I had a crazy night. I'm really tired. I haven't been to bed yet because I had things to do this morning. So that's kind of one of the reasons I'm a little loopy, I think, today with all the goofiness, because I just haven't been able to sleep very good. But, I finally was able to get some help and get myself up out of there. But what a scenario to be in, so. Anyways, just, we update you guys on my life from time to time. I'm okay. I know that I need to get the sleep apnea taken care of. I know I need to lose weight and the whole thing. Like, I know people are going to tell me that, but I get it. It's important. Jackson, where were you? You were supposed to come help me out.
Well, I am. We're here to give an update on Ty Edwards.
Thanks for getting me back on track.
You're welcome.
So Khalil Wilkins will have Ty Edwards by his side in this game. It's sounding like. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, Jackson. How big would a Ty Edwards be in this game for the young quarterback?
Be humongous. Kind of like Dylan Edwards for Kansas State.
Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, the Colorado transfer.
Oh yeah. That would be cool if you can get Ty Edwards back for Friday night. So he can really have a chance against the Cougars.
Yeah, I know, because he makes the run game go. I mean, we've only got one game to really base that off of, but I feel good about it still because how hard he runs. I think he's still able to break through certain tackles and such. So I really do feel good about him as a runner. We'll just have to see. He's been moved. So for those of you who aren't aware, Ty Edwards has been bumped up from questionable to probable, right? So here are my 5 big things on Ty Edwards, right? So let's zero in on Ty Edwards and exactly why he's so important to Khalil here, because Khalil's going through this crash course. So here's 5 must-know nuggets to get you primed. Obviously, I think I don't know how best to say this really. He is going to draw attention away from Khalil, right? So when you're in the zone read situation, and it's not always going to be zone read, but when you're in a zone read situation and you've got a guy like Ty Edwards who the defense has to pay attention to, here the last few weeks they haven't had to pay attention to anybody. They've just been able to key on the running back because the quarterback was a non-factor. And then when Jalen came in last week, unfortunately, the running backs were non-factors because we were playing the wrong guys, if you want to ask me. But it's not like we had a whole big choice of players. I mean, Ty's out, Jaheim's out. Jalen Knight never even played this year. And then Clay Ash just, he played well at times, but he just isn't what we need right now with the offensive line being like it is, in my opinion. And what Ty does is he breaks through a bad offensive line. He'll make plays out of nothing. So when you've got a few defenders that are going to go with Ty, that puts Khalil one-on-one, and he's going to be able to make a move and make guys miss here and there. If you go watch the Caden Salter footage versus BYU last week, he actually lit him up early in that game with some nice runs. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Khalil's going to be Caden Salter, but I do think that he can run as well, if not better. What do you think?
Oof. It would be huge if he got Edwards back at 100%. But if he's back, that'd be awesome. But like you said, if he
look
comes
it up
back,
really quick and see how long a hit pointer. Let's say type in how much is a medium grade hit pointer keeps somebody out. That way we can just say it's in the middle, right? Instead of like severe or low. That way we can kind of get a feel for it.
medium hit pointer.
Yeah. I'm curious what the recovery time is on that. I'm sure it's situational because a lot of it's going to be just how much pain can you tolerate. But when you're a running back and you get hit a bunch, it's like,
Ooh. Let's see.
So we'll find out.
Good grief. Yeah, from what I'm getting, it usually depends on how it happens. Let me see. Oh, that's not what I want.
It depends on how it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think in this case, it was like maybe a helmet or a knee or a shoulder or an elbow to the hip. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, we know there's not a ton of There's not a a ton of we don't know exactly how this thing happened to him is the problem, really.
Yeah. I mean, he's probable for this week, but I think he's going to come back for when West Virginia comes back from the bye week, the week after next, it looks like.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I think he can come back against Central Florida or TCU, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess so. I think we need him back for this week, though. I mean, going forward, yes, it would be great to have him back this week or next week. I mean, after the bye, he'd be healthy and everything would be good. But I don't know. I mean, if you can get this win in Provo, turns your season around. You're 3-3, and you've got to win over a top 15 team. I know nobody in the world expects you to do it, but upsets happen every single year. They happen every single year. And you've got to – if I'm Rich Rod, I'm telling my guys, like, why not us? Why not us, right? So, why can't we have a Louisville situation here? And that was my point from earlier. Could these guys do that? Could they have a Louisville-type situation where we have two players break out in one game and become legends for the program? That's what we need more than anything in the entire world right now. And we need it. Like if I could just pick anything in life to happen right now, that might be the thing. Or even Dior Hubbard, since he's a redshirt freshman. I mean, he looked really good at times. It's like he looked explosive. He had some speed, and for whatever reason, Jackson didn't have him on the depth chart coming into the last few weeks. And Jackson's our running backs coach. Why didn't you have him in?
Well, I do.
Oh, gosh, man. So, obviously, Ty Edwards is going to be massive in this game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just hoping that it works out because Khalil needs somebody. I mean, we're just down too many bodies, man. That's just a flat-out fact, right? We're down so many bodies. So, I'm worried about it because, if he's out, then what happens? Who do we go to outside of Dior Hubbard? It's not exactly a fun situation, man.
No. But if he does come back for Friday night, tomorrow night, then that's good news for the Mountaineers.
Oh, it's incredible news, yeah.
And especially with it being a sloppy slate on Friday night, could there be an upset? It's a possibility.
Let's go to break. On the other side, what we'll do is we're going to let Jackson Johnson do the legendary things that he does and take us around the world of Group of Five football. Next on Locked On West Virginia with Jackson Johnson from the Jacksonian and the voice of college football at Alabama, as well as the Paul Feinbaum veteran. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our good friends at Mazda. We love talking about Mazda. Mazda. I could say it over and over. I really could. Mazda cars craft for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride. And with more IHS top safety picks and more awards than anybody else's of August 2025, and an all-wheel drive standard in every crossover SUV, you can drive with confidence during most any season, Jackson. So, like our players, we sweat every detail. Because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Do it today with Mazda, where you can move and be moved. And last but not least, my favorite read that we do at this network, it's our friends at GameTime. And listen, right now in GameTime, it's a pretty cool thing because college football's back. And I couldn't be more excited. The tailgates, the rivalries, the energy in the stands, there's just nothing like it. But let's be real. Actually getting tickets can feel a little bit more like a pain and a battle than the game itself. There's endless queues. There's hidden fees. Prices jump up at checkout because people trying to gouge you. That's why I use GameTime. It's an app that gives the advantage back to the fans like Jackson. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices with no surprise fees at checkout. What you see, what you pay. Listen, I pulled up Game Time, and in just a couple taps, I saw amazing deals. I'm talking about your favorite college football game as low as $25. I was able to get Mountaineer games or Alabama games as low as $25, which is insane in this economy. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase where the terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off your first purchase today. And download the Game Time app today, Junior, where you can swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. That's swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today, where you can ask yourself the question of all questions. What time is it?
Adventure time in Game Time.
It's game time. We're back here in segment 3. Oh, God. Raven. She said, Paul, it's your time to shine. Does off your old cleats. We need help on the O-line. We're talking about some really old cleats there. Really old cleats. I mean, I'm like the opposite of – I would like to give some of my weight to old Malik Agbo, who Rich Rod said on his radio show is a little bit light in the ass. He's like 270. They'd like to have him at 300 or better. I'll donate if he's willing. All right, Jackson. We'll run a little bit over here, so take us around the wild and wonderful world of college football.
Well, we've got
Group of
Army
five
and
style.
UAB on ESPNU in Birmingham, Alabama.
Say that again.
Army UAB in Birmingham, Alabama on ESPNU at noon Eastern.
You know, West Virginia dodged a real bullet here. Jeff Monken, who had a really incredible year last year with the Golden Knights of Army, is off to just an incredibly bad start this year.
Yeah.
They was blown out by East Carolina, who's a good football team. They did beat Kansas State, which is a wild win, but they lost to North Texas. And now they've got a UAB team. And you know, far be it from me to judge, but it's not like they're exactly world beaters either. They got absolutely smoked by Tennessee, Jackson.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I think at this, this is a game where I'm going to go with my gut and pick Army to win. I still think they're the better team, even though they're only 1-3. I mean, they did beat Kansas State, so they have to have some talent.
I'm going to go with Army on this one. Like, as much as I like UAB, I got to go with Army in a 21-20 victory.
Nice.
Trent Dilfer can't get it done.
Trent Dilfer won't get it done. He's never gotten it done in his life.
No.
Except Super Bowl.
No.
What we got next?
Oh, we've got Colorado State and San Diego State on Friday night on CBS Sports Network in San Diego, California.
Wow. Colorado State. Fort Collins. And you said it's at San Diego State?
Yup.
Oh, boy. I don't know who to pick here because
I'll make it easy for you. San Diego State shut out Cal, and Cal's only loss.
Right. That's pretty good. I'll go with San Diego State.
Same. Friday night continues with Charlotte and South Florida, but starts off with it. I got South Florida winning this one 42-13 against Charlotte.
So interestingly enough, Tim Albin, the former Ohio University coach, has moved over here to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Who are they playing?
South Florida.
Oh, well, South Florida is the best, probably, more than likely the best Group of 5 team in the country. They're right there they're in the conversation, are they not? Yes, they lost to Miami, but Miami's really good. Yeah. Miami very well could be the best team in America this year. They played that well. I know it's like you think they're going to be fool's gold. Remember how we thought that about Texas until last year?
Mhm.
Like every year, it was like Texas is never going to be good again, and then finally they were. Obviously, Charlotte's just bad. South Florida's good. Go with South Florida. Take the over.
There we go. Oh man, and we've got a good one in the Sun Belt between James Madison and Georgia State on ESPN Plus on Saturday.
Ooh, yes, James Madison. It's one of those programs. For whatever reason, they just keep winning no matter who's their coach, don't they? They're 3-1 this year. Obviously, Georgia State has had a rough start to the year. You know, James Madison really played Louisville tough. It's their only loss. I
Yeah.
watched some of that game. Georgia State, on the other hand, different story. They've lost to Arkansas State. They've lost to Texas State. They've lost to Coastal. They got destroyed by Ole Miss. Apologies, I'm on the wrong line here. They got destroyed by Vandy. They got beat by Memphis badly. They beat a Murray State team that's like you should beat them. James Madison big here.
Oh yeah, James Madison's gonna scallop Georgia State.
Scallop them
Yep, they're about to get scalloped.
scalloped potatoes.
Yep, they're about to turn them into scalloped potatoes.
Wow.
It's gonna be that bad.
By the way, the James Madison quarterback, Alonzo Barnett III, is a very, very good player. If you haven't had a chance to go check him out yet, I highly, highly suggest it. He's probably going to be one of those guys you see in the portal this upcoming year that Jackson's going to want in Alabama. He's a dual threat guy.
Oh man, that's a perfect segue into the Alabama battle between South Alabama and Troy.
Yeah.
Man, South Alabama's favored by 1.5.
Right. I'm going to go with Troy. I mean, I don't get it. Troy is typically the better program here. I mean, you know, they lost to – who did they lose to? Clemson and one other team. Memphis. Two good teams. South Alabama is a 1-4. But they've been competitive in all their losses, every one of them, except for the one. They played Auburn close. They played Tulane close. They need a break, but I still like Troy in this game, and there's a reason for it. Do you want to know what that reason is, good buddy?
Who was that?
Well, never mind. It's not true anymore. I thought Will Crowder was playing for him, but it looks like he's not.
Nope.
Let me see why. I thought Will Crowder started the season for him. He did. He started against Clemson. Okay. I guess he either got hurt or benched, one of the two.
South Alabama got dominated by Coastal Carolina and North Texas.
Yeah. But yeah, give me the Troy Trojans because they're a better program usually.
Yeah, I'll go with Troy on that one. Oh, here's a good one from the Mountain West on Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern at Laramie, Wyoming. UNLV, Wyoming. Does Wyoming end the unbeaten streak of UNLV?
Good question. Obviously, Dan Mullen's done a great job there, hasn't he?
Yep.
A lot of people wanted him to go to West Virginia, and I understand why.
I call him Cousin Eddie.
I
call him Cousin Eddie because he kind of looks like him.
Ed and Eddie?
Yep.
Oh, my God, what a brain you have. You know, UNLV has been really good this year against pretty much everybody. I mean, they've won some close games. They played UCLA really tough and beat them. It was a close game. So that kind of gives you an idea for, like, they're not elite by any stretch, but they're good in year one. Laramie's a tough place to go play. Kansas went there and struggled. Even Utah went there and struggled. You know, they've got a really tough defense that plays hard. You know, they make it a rock fight in Laramie.
Ooh.
They can win. I'm gonna pick Wyoming to win this thing at home.
Right there with your partner. I'm going with Wyoming in a 24-21 upset at home.
Jackson agreed with me.
There we go. Bringing out that Genjitsu.
Let me find out you watch Naruto.
I remember hearing about that quote from Chisel Adonis, and he's a top YouTuber, and I was like, oh man, I gotta start using this quote. And I've been watching a little bit of that show. Like I watched it a few years ago. I'll definitely have to get back to watching Naruto for sure.
All right, what we got next on the slate?
Oh, good buddy. We got New Mexico San Jose State for Friday night on Fox Sports 1 at 10 Eastern.
Well, oh man, this is an interesting one, right? Because you don't know. I don't know much about either one of these teams at all. I really don't. They're New Mexico's obviously the better team. I haven't seen San Jose play at all. I've seen some New Mexico stuff because they dominated UCLA too. Literally everybody's beat UCLA this year. Everybody. If you go look at UCLA's schedule, they've lost to everybody at least once. So, I'm going to go with New Mexico State in this game. But San Jose State is usually a pretty pesky football program to deal with. And they just have cool uniforms. I've always felt that way. Like the San Jose State uniforms are really good. And they had a hell of a bowl game last year with USF. I remember watching that. So, what do you got?
I've got New Mexico. Well, I've got San Jose State winning this one. I think it's going to be a San Jose State 31-28 victory.
Wow. He's a brave one, Mr. Grinch.
Yep.
All right, give us one more before we hit the road here.
Oh, we've got one more. We've got Appalachian State going up against a winless Oregon State team on ESPN Plus.
Wow, this is an interesting game, isn't it?
Man.
Because Oregon State is, they're decent for group of five. They've been playing a bunch of Power 5 teams. Even though they're 0-5. I'm going to pick Oregon State to get off the schneid here against App State. I think they will because, if you look, Oregon State's played a couple teams really tough this year. They played Houston. They haven't given up. They lost by 3 to Houston last week. They really played hard versus Oregon for a while there. They almost beat Fresno. They were, close against Cal. And I don't think App State's is quite as good as any of those teams. So, hell with it, man. I'm gonna take the Beavers to get off the cleaver.
Well, now I think I'm gonna go with the home favorites in a 24-21 victory over Oregon State.
In a 24-21 fashion.
Yeah, 24-21. Okay. Appalachian State will win this one.
No. All right, man. Well, I think that's all I got. We'll see what happens if there's any more updates. Obviously, tomorrow's game day. Think about this: 24 hours from now, we'll still have four and a half hours till game time kicks off.
Yeah,
our game kicks off 4.5 hours from now, 24 hours from now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's gonna be
crazy. We got so long to wait till football, and I blame Jackson, as I do with everything. In all seriousness, I thank Jackson so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks, man.
He's funny. He helps me. I feel like he helps me be funny. He doesn't take it too seriously. You don't have to be all buttoned up like you got a corn cob stuck up your butt all the time, like some people are. Some people are rigid, like a robot. And today, it's like the evening news. And today, as the government shutdown keeps going on, just come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, can you not just be like, let me do my Tommy Boys impression again or my mobster impressions again? Here's what we're going to do, Sam. We're going to go to the government, Sam. We're going to make a big fuss about it.
Oh,
We're going to make
Humphrey
big trouble.
Bogart. Nice.
We're going to make big trouble. We're going to make big trouble, and we're going to make big fuss about it. If they don't like that, we'll pump them full of that. Okay. I think I probably need sleep at this point. The deprivation's getting to me. I want pizza. I want sleep. I'll probably choose sleep over pizza. It's the only time I've ever said that in life. Thank you guys so much for being here, letting us goof off. I'll start another podcast here in a couple of days. It'll just be me and Jackson sitting here just ripping with each other, just saying random stuff. Other than that let's see what happens tomorrow, guys. I'm excited for the game. I know it seems bleak. It seems like we're going to get dominated in the game, but I'm still rooting for the Mountaineers. I still love the Mountaineers. I'm not ready to give up on the season yet, and I hope you're not either.
Ride or die.
Until then, thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. And don't forget, Locked On College Football is there to stay with Fire TV College Football Kickoff. Drake Toll leads the conversation, longtime two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Hawley, and Locked On's local experts. It is a college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch college football every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Will you take us out of here with a Wookiee noise, Jackson?
Oh!
Oh!